Kalalwa Wadlaya Washington Shai Bashim Kakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Peace and salutations to the brothers on the four corners of this earth, pushing this word in truth. Also in sincerity, and Brother Manatasa here with another short video. And this one is this one just like all the rest, as per usual. Goodness because it's like straight to the point. So you dive straight into the article. This video wouldn't be long. And I mean just some news. What else other than the prophecies by what else? They say China initiates nationwide lockdown due to mysterious illness caused by Bill Gates mosquitoes. China has initiated nationwide lockdown to combat a mysterious illness outbreak caused by Bill Gates' genetically modified mosquitoes, with authorities in Guangdong province reinstating COVID-style containment tactics amid thousands of infections from the mosquito-borne chikungunya virus. This sinister development, centered in Foshan, 170 km north of Hong Kong, has already seen over 8,000 cases, more than half in the city, fueling suspicions that Gates' controversial mosquito programs are unleashing engineered plagues on the population. You understand? And this is where the Revelation 12 and 12 once again come into play. The devil coming down with great wrath, right? Because he knew he time short. They had to push their agenda and get their stuff, you know what I mean, done at a certain time because they're trying to commit to the goals or commit to the agenda. The same with the men of the Lord committing to the duties as men of the Lord. So just as fervent as the left hand side is, the right hand side will be even more so fervent in the duties. Continuing, the outbreak's rapid spread has prompted draconian measures, echoing the early days of COVID, as officials scramble to isolate affected areas and prevent further transmission by the Aedes mosquito linked to Gates-funded experiments in the and bearing the burnt local reports. Bearing the brunt. Local reports describe overwhelmed hospitals and panicked residents, while critics point to Gates' history of releasing modified insects in vulnerable regions as deliberate sabotage philanthropy. As the lockdown expands beyond Guangdong, global observers warn this could be a test run for broader bioweapon deployments, demanding transparency from the billionaire and his allies amid rising fears of a manufactured pandemic. RT.com reports the virus typically causes sudden fever, rash, severe joint pain, which can be debilitating and sometimes prolonged. While it is rarely fatal, the symptoms can severely affect the quality of life. Unlike the C19, which began in 2019 and led to more than 7 million deaths worldwide, according to the World Health Organization, chikungunya is not directly transmitted person to person. Infected individuals are being quarantined in special isolation wards or hospitals. Local officials say they are required to remain in beds protected by mosquito nets to prevent mosquitoes from biting patients and spreading the virus. Alright, so we could see everything coming to light. You understand? And the men of the Lord know the Lord using Edom as his sword. Alright? That is the blessing, the sword. You know what I mean? Destruction. Right? As the first precept says, right? And I mean, you should don't know where I'm going with this by now. There's Psalm 64 and verse 6. It says, they search out their iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search, both the inward thought of every one of them, and the heart is deep. I mean, in this era, diligent in the duties, as I was saying before, reading the article, the diligent in accomplishing their goals and agendas. You know what I mean? I read the Revelation 12 and 12 once again, as I say. That's the reiterate. That is where it come into play. Alright? Coming back full circle to, you know what I mean? The devil, because you know you have a short time. So now you see natural disasters, economic shifting into digital system, things such as this thing. Because there's a plague. There's a fucking plague. 8,000 people have the same sickness. You know, there's a plague. There's a plague, right? And all this going back to basically, you know what I mean, the prophecies. According to the brother Ryan, you should not say, you know, inside joke, you know. The second is just 16 and verse 39. It says, even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. Right? Putting into Revelation 3 and 10, there was temptation which shall come upon the whole world. Right? This precept here saying what the plague shall come upon it on sorrows, so like yeah, shall come upon it on every side, meaning the world. People are going to mourn. They just the tip of the iceberg. And they the tip of the iceberg. You know what I mean? Because we sure he saw so much disastrous things in store. As another brother say, if it wasn't for divine intervention, we'd be doomed. You know, we'd be doomed. Right? Let me get that last precept before I close off here. I say it was a short video, just basically informative, more or less. Right, in Matthew 24 and verse 21. It says, for then shall great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of its time, no, nor ever shall be, right? Wasn't since the beginning of the world. Yeah, it had great tribulation then. But this one that we going through, which is about to be upon us. Hey, nothing could compare to it. Nothing that past could compare to it. Hey, just think about that. Just let that marinate for a little bit, right? And verse 22 just reiterates what I was saying just now. But into the divine intervention, it says, and except those days be shortened, should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Yeah, divine intervention. Divine intervention. But if it wasn't for divine intervention, hey, my Lord would be doomed by to water Yabashim Shabashim Kakodashra. Right? So yeah, that was just study video. I hope it was informative to the brethren. You know, a lot of things happening in the society today, a lot of things happening simultaneously. That just reiterates once again Revelation 12 and 12. Right? So that was it. Shalom. Until next time, I hope it was informative to the spirit and power of Yabashim and Shai Bashim Kakodash. Until next time, once again, Shalom.